The one mistake I will say that I think martial artists are making now is, personally, I think I know they're preparing for a single opponent trained in the same art in a well-lit padded area with a referee. Okay, that's only a small part of martial art.
Yes.
That's not how martial art was designed. So a lot of arts are more multiple opponents. They're more worried about soft tissue strikes. You're outmatched, so how do you handle any of Greg's fighters or Brock Lesnar or somebody like that? Well, I'll tell you what you don't do is you don't MMA him. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
His game. And that was JKD. The first lesson I was taught in JKD years and years ago is you kick a puncher and you punch a kicker. So you take them out of their game. And so we have to be conscious of all that, keep that in our background and say, okay, what game are we actually preparing for? And the real answer for martial artists is life. It's the game of life. That's what we're preparing for. So if you're worried about self-defense, let's say that's part of your motivation for training. If you're in a hardcore group and you're injured of shoulders, knees, neck, you're injured 3 months out of the year. Okay, then 3 months out of the year, you can't really defend yourself because your training has debilitated you, you're injured. And then over time, that thing we talked about going down slowly, that's not going to happen. It's going to be a much steeper decline because you're injuring the body. Yeah. And so a part of, let's weave this back to the ecological approach. A part of the problem that we have putting martial art into the ecological approach is martial art is damaging. So if you put a good Silat man in an ecological approach, he's going to paralyze someone because that's how the art is designed. That's what it's designed to do is, when you're taking the head over your knee and doing all that stuff. So all he did was perform his art correctly in an environment that you set up, but someone's going to get paralyzed. And I think you might know when Pa Herman was younger, they actually had a Silat tournament in Indonesia. And he got paralyzed. Pa Herman was paralyzed.
Really?
Yeah. And they brought him back with herbs and massage and things like that. But he was paralyzed in the tournament. So this ecological approach assumes that we've got skills built up, that they're built up for a competition that is relatively safe, and that then we can shove the athlete in there and have them problem solve. If we have an art form that say, and I'm not trying to make this, well, I'll just say what I'm going to say.
Yes,
if we have an art form that utilizes all the soft tissue, so the throat, the eyes, the groin, whatever, that utilizes all the anti-joint stuff. So we're trying to break elbows and knees, stomp ankles, etc. We have a different type of leverage system where you're trying to off balance and then slam the head into the pavement. Things like that. Well, these are all things that you can't do in that ecological environment because we want the athletes to come out safe. That's the NFL right now is all about safety. That's what they're working on is safety, which is great. That's great. I kind of disagree, but it's great.